Good afternoon, Shatika. How's Shatika doing today? It showed we had like 3 or 4 watching, or waiting, but I see there must be silent viewers. They're not coming into chat. Oh, there's Paula. Hey, Paula, how are you doing? And Mary Jensen, hello. It is a hot, hot day in Texas today. I tell you, that sun is blistering. It's about 95 degrees. It's humid after all the rain we've had. And guess what? We got 3 solid days of rain coming up this week, starting Tuesday. I'm fine, Paula. I'm just trying to stay in the house and stay where it's cool. I get out early in the morning or late in the afternoon or evening to do anything outside because it's so extremely hot. I finally got all my mowing done yesterday. I don't know, it was about 6:30, 7 o'clock or so. I went out, got the lawnmower out, mowed the backyard back here. It's a real small area because I've got it all basically blocked off with wood chips and garden area. So the backyard is very small to mow. But then I took my weed eater and went into the easement, and I keep it mowed from my property line all the way back to where my water meter is. That's 1 block width back here of mine. And that's just so I don't have a bunch of weeds growing up into my garden, and I have access to my water meter without having to get all tangled up in bushes and vines and everything else. But you know what? I broke my where is it? Here it is. I broke the metal blade off my weed eater. I used it so much where it's attached in here, it broke loose inside and it came off. And I had some more attachments for the weed eater, and I straightened all my junk up in the kitchen one day, and I don't know where I put it, so I can't find it. I'm still looking for the package with the other. It's got plastic blades and one thing or another, and I thought I had another metal blade, but I can't find it, and I don't know if I'll be able to order any like this or not. Thank you, Paula, for that super chat. Bless your heart. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. Rudy says, want to count from 0 to 100. Why would I count from 0 to 100? I might do something like that if I was really mad and upset and needed to do a countdown to keep from blowing my top. I'm not that way right now. Oh, if it was 70 degrees, I'd love it. That's comfortable outside. 95 in this hot heat, hot sun, the Texas sun especially, with this little bit of humidity we've got, it's unbearable outside. I can be out there for a half hour trying to get some work done in the garden, and I'm drenched in sweat. I mean, my clothes, everything is wet. That's how bad it is. So I get early in the morning before the sun heats up so hot, or I get out there late in the evening about the time the sun goes down, and it cools off tremendously. I finally got the last little bit of the mowing done in the back and the easement just at dark last night. So I'm done with it for another time. But if we get 3 days of rain next week, guess what? The week after that, I'm going to be mowing again. That was a fun live stream yesterday. Well, I appreciate that, Joshua. I got my lemonade here. Oh, you got a cool day today, 59 degrees here in Minnesota. I have a lot of petunias on my patio and the bunnies ate the blooms. Oh no. What plant can I get for full sun and bunny proof? Oh my goodness. I don't know what to tell you. Since my stuff is planted in raised beds and totes and pots that are, a good ways off of the ground, so far I've not had any problem with rabbits getting in mine. I've had, when I had cantaloupe growing in the greenstock tower and some of them got down on the ground, I had a problem with the raccoons coming, and they'll steal your cantaloupe or your melons. Because, raccoons will pull them off the vine and they'll take them with them. There's one came up here last year and he ate one of my cantaloupes in half and left it. A couple of nights later, he came back and he got a whole cantaloupe and took it with him. Cinnamon will help. I don't know, just try to find a plant that rabbits don't like to chew on, I guess. There's bound to be a lot of plants out there that rabbits don't want to eat. But I had a herd of cattle coming in my yard one Sunday many years ago, and they were making a smorgasbord out of my tomato plants, my greens, everything that was growing in my garden. They were eating it. I called the police station. I said, y'all got to come do something. I got a yard full of cows and they're eating my garden. And they laughed and they said, well, I guess they're hungry. I thought to myself, I guess so. And they said it sounded like the same cows that they always had to round up on the main highway out here. They would get out of their fence and ended up on the highway, and they'd have to round them up. But I think what it is whoever's taking care of them, they're not feeding them and getting water to them regularly like they should. I think the owner lives way out of town somewhere, and he's hired someone to take care of them. And they don't always get there to feed them and water them. And when that happens, those cows get out and they wander. They go wherever they can find water and food. And they ended up in my yard that one Sunday morning. And there's Donna. Hello, Donna. And Joshua updated his tablet earlier. Well, that's good. We got Judy Hickman, Tamara Douglas. Chills in the house. Why would you keep weed eater parts in your kitchen? Because I've got a cart, a 3 shelf cart over here off the side of the kitchen that I put a bag of the parts to my weed eater on. And I was going to do, had stuff on the cart that I'm going to move out to the shed. But I needed to get out there and empty the shed, clean everything out, straighten it up, get it back, and make room to where I'll know where everything is at. And I haven't been able to do that yet. Every day that I decide I'm going to I have the time to get out there and do that, it rains. So I haven't been able to do it yet. We got Dark in the house, Eddie Elliott in the house. Hey, I'm a single lady. I do all my repairs and stuff basically myself.
Hi, this is Walgreens, located at the northwest corner of Hill Boulevard.
Calls at all the inappropriate times.
Your prescription is ready. The pharmacy's open till 6 p.m. tonight, tomorrow. They're open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. If you'd like to change your communication preferences, go to our website. Or to opt out of future order update calls, call us at 844.
Okay, come on. That's enough.
7733. We look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye.
See, I forgot to unplug the house phone again. But I know what that is. It's my nasal spray for allergies. That's what it is. I'm on like automatic refill of that stuff, and I've got so many bottles of it here in the house. And I use it, but it doesn't really help. It does like for 5 minutes after you use it, and then you can't tell you've even used it. So I don't even worry about it anymore. Yeah, I have to apologize about my phone call. Yeah, it's always good to update your phone, your tablet, your computer, anything you use on the internet. They're always having updates for all of it. Some of them I want, some of them I don't want. But I got to get me a new laptop this year because I'm still running Windows 10, and my computer is not capable of running Windows 11. And as everybody knows, or I guess everybody knows, they're going to quit with any updates or services for Windows 10 in October of this year. So they have been warning people you need to update to Windows 11. And I wish I could, because my computer is great. It works fine. It just will not run Windows 11. I've tried to download it and it won't let me. But I want to address one issue. I've got one lady that keeps commenting on my videos, and she must be hard of hearing, and she depends on the closed caption to read my conversation during the video. And every 3 or 4 videos I get a message from her. Please fix your closed caption. I can't watch your videos if I can't read closed caption. Please turn it on. Blah, blah, blah. And then she complained because my pictures were smaller. And I guess it's because it was vertical and not horizontal, which most of my lives are vertical. They're not horizontal. My videos are mostly. But that particular video that she was watching was vertical. And I've tried to tell her time and time again that if her closed caption is not appearing on her video, it's her end. She's got to make sure her closed caption is turned on for her computer, for her video, or her tablet, or her phone, or whatever she's watching on. Because mine is always turned on 100% of the time. It's in the default settings that my closed caption is on all the time for every video. And I went back and checked. I brought up the same video, and sure enough, closed caption popped up and I was reading my conversation. So I don't know what her problem is, other than the fact that she has not got it turned on her, I don't know, whatever she's watching on. I don't know if it's a tablet, a phone, a television, or what. But you got to have your end of the closed caption turned on as well, or it's not going to come up. And I've apologized to her. I wish I was there so I could turn it on for her and show her, but I'm not. I rely on her to read the comment and make sure that she turns that closed caption on for every video. And that's it, I know it must be frustrating for her if she can't hear the conversation in the video and has to rely on the closed caption. But there's nothing I can do about it. On my end, it's turned on 100% of the time. Now, I have found there are a few videos, for some odd reason, YouTube does not download closed caption on, and I don't know why. I have never found the reasoning for it, but it's very few that they do that. And I know for sure the one that she's referring to, the closed caption is on, because it came up for me to read. So it should come up for her too if she's got hers turned on her end. So that's all I got to say about that. I just wanted to mention it. Do I put cinnamon on flowers, around the flowers? Well, you can. Cinnamon is good. I've heard that orange peels are good to put around flowers to deter pests away. But like I said, so far I've not been bothered with squirrels, rabbits, or anything else getting into my plants. I've just had that one raccoon a few years ago take off with a couple of melons. He ate one and left part of it there, and he took one of them with him, and it just disappeared. I don't know how often YouTube gets updates. I have no idea, Joshua. But I've got tons of squirrels around my yard. They're in these trees because there's hundreds and hundreds and thousands of acorns that they feed off of. But I guess they get plenty of food because I've not seen them eat any of my plants or my vegetables. I have a problem with the birds after my strawberries and stuff. And I'm kind of wondering if they ate the lavender seed that I put in that one pot, because I've never had a lavender plant come up in it. Not a one. Hello, Donna. I was not ignoring you. I just happened to see your hello, sweet Linda. Yeah, sometimes they download a lot of stuff that you don't want when you get updates on your cell phone or your tablet. Like on my cell phone, just about every time I get major updates come in, I have all kind of these games that it automatically downloads on my screen. And I don't want these stupid games. I could do without all these games, so I just uninstall them. Yeah, like I said, Joshua, I don't have any idea how often YouTube gets updates. But as far as I know, I've got all my updates. And like I said, the closed caption works fine on my end. I can read it. I don't know why she can't, unless she does not have closed caption turned on for that particular video. And sometimes you can watch a video and the closed caption is not there. And it's not there because you got it turned off. It won't just automatically come up on every video you watch unless you physically turn it on yourself. I always turn it off when I'm watching a video because I don't want to read the closed caption. I want to hear what the people are saying. Well, as you can see, this was a Q&A live because I didn't have anything really I wanted to do in the video today. It's too hot to go outside, or I would have done some stuff outside in the live. But at 3 o'clock in the afternoon is the hottest time of the day here in Texas, so I'm not venturing out right now to do anything. The kitties are great. They're hanging around here under the shade on the patio and under the trees where it's cool. Well, thank you, Mary. We got Maureen Cooper. Hi, Linda from Cape May, New Jersey. Well, welcome, Maureen from Cape May, New Jersey. Yeah, I don't remember who told me that orange peelings were good to put around your flower pots or around your plants, and it keeps some of the varmints away from your plant. They don't like the orange peel, so I guess they don't like they probably don't like lemon peel either. Oh, my allergies. I've been coughing most of the morning because, like I said, I was out there till right at dark last night. I was weed eating right onto the edge of dark until my weed eater threw the blade. And the blade is okay. It's a little bent, but the section that holds it in is broke out of the center of it, because that hole was not that big, and it's broke part of it out. So there's no way that single screw will hold it in. Donna said she was at Cape May when she was 12. It was beautiful. I've never been to Cape May that I know of. I mean, I lived in New York City, Manhattan, whenever I was a little girl. because we moved up there for a few years after I was 3, stayed till I was about 8 or 9 years old and lived in Manhattan, because my mom is originally from New York City, and that's where my grandparents were. But I'm not familiar with Cape May. I don't think I've ever heard of it. I know that blade, well, see, there's no way, I guess it could have completely come off. Well, it did completely come off. And all of a sudden, I heard a noise, a rattling, and the weed eater, it stopped cutting the weeds. And I moved the weed eater and looked down, and there was this laying on the ground. So I says, oh, great. Now I don't know if I have another metal one or not. And I mean, you can order these metal blades for weed eaters, but they're for a lot of other different types of weed eaters. I don't know if I can order one for this particular weed eater. I'm going to try. I found some on Amazon. I haven't ordered them yet, but I'm thinking about trying them, because if they don't fit, I can always send them back. Because the weed eater's working fine. Got Tamara Aimling in the house. Hello, Tamara. Cape May isn't far from Wildwood or Sea Isle City. Well, see, I'm not familiar with any of those areas either, because I was a little girl when we lived up there. So I don't know what places we visited. I know we went to Long Island because I had family that was out there. We had people in the family that lived in around Brooklyn area. Queens is where my grandmother lived before she died. Well, she actually moved to North Carolina and stayed with my parents until she died. But until she was able to, until she was not able to live by herself, or with my uncle that lived with her, she lived in Queens, New York. Took my brother his voice control fan. Joshua took his brother, or told his brother about his voice control fan. He got it from Marshall's, if you know what that is. Yeah, we have a Marshall's here, Joshua. And there's Jana Jacob. Hello, Jana. How's Jana doing today? I hope you're feeling really good and in good spirits. I did get some sleep last night. It was hard for me to go to sleep, but sometime in the mid-morning I fell asleep. So I feel pretty good today. It's just hot outside. Nobody wants to do anything outside unless you're in a swimming pool or you're in the lake. I used to have one of those float ring pools in my backyard, and that's where I stayed a lot of the time. Because, you get in the pool and it cools you down so much that you're cool even for a long time after you get out. And I'd get in there like late in the evening and cool down and come in the house, and never did get hot after that. But that's been long gone. I replaced it with garden. I do have a small pool that I had bought. And I'm not sure now what I'm going to do with it. It's only 10 foot. And I think it's about 2.5 foot deep, something like that. But I don't know if I'm even going to fool with it. I thought one time of putting it inside the fire pit, filling it full of water, and putting me some fish in it. And put me some kind of a water feature up in the center with the rocks around it so you can't see that it's a pool. What are those fish that people get and they always put in the little ponds and pools that they put in their yard? I can't think of the name of them. I know some people put actual goldfish in there. And there's Claire Quinn. Hello, Claire. Koi, yeah, that koi fish is what it is. My brother and his wife, before they moved to Tennessee, when they still lived in North Carolina, they had a big grapevine growing with big posts. And it just covered that whole canopy area with grapevine. And right off in front of it, they had a little koi pond that they dug and put a liner in it, put rocks and stuff around it to make it look all natural, and had koi fish in it. And I think they had some goldfish in it too. But I don't know if they had that in Tennessee or not. Because they moved to Tennessee, and now my brother's got that place up for sale. I don't know if he's ever sold it or not, because he wants to move to South Carolina where his daughter lives, so he'd be close to family since his wife passed away. I don't know if you eat koi fish or not. I know most people just put them in little ponds in their yard because it's a neat thing to have fish in your little pond, you know. If not, forget it. I don't know, Chill. People just like them like goldfish. I don't think I'd want to eat a goldfish. But I know some of those koi get pretty big. Jana says, no, you don't eat them. Chill only wants fish he can eat. And you know, I have not gotten time to go fishing. When I get time, the wind's blowing. I can't go fishing when the wind's blowing hard. You just can't fish good when the wind's blowing. Or if I get other time, it's raining. There's Uncle BD. Yeah, Uncle BD, I'm fine. Everything's going smooth. I notified the owner of the property next door. He'll not get the letter until probably Monday or Tuesday. And then it's pretty much up to him if he wants to do anything about him putting the fence on his property line or not. But I can prevent him from putting it on mine behind my house. And they're not going to. I'll be like the protesters. I'll sit on it. I'll dare them. No, I don't know what I'll do, but I don't want a fence back there. Not to enclose my easement, so I can't get to my water meter anyway. Oh, it's a long story. These home builders nowadays, in these subdivision, you know, there's an easement that runs down the whole center of the block. And it has utility lines in it. It has your gas lines sometimes. It has electric lines, cable lines, you know, for cable TV. It has water lines. And the water lines especially are run dead center of the lot from what I understand. And they've got it marked back here with blue flags. The easement is 2 feet off of the blue flag to the right, 2 feet to the left. That is the property easement that they're not supposed to enclose in a backyard fence, but that's what they've done over here. I don't know if y'all remember watching the video of the lady that, or I told about her. I don't think I actually videoed her, but she came over and helped me move some of the first wood chips that I put out. And she was telling me, she said, oh, you better be careful. These home builders will come in and buy these lots around you, and they'll try to enclose all the easement in their backyard, because she said they did that where I live. Her house was there first, and she never put a fence up in the back. She never felt the need to. Well, the builders come in and build a house behind her, you know, facing the other street. And they put a fence in, and they came all the way back to her property line, put a fence across it, and what happened is they enclosed her water meter in their backyard. So now every time that she turns her water off or needs to turn it back on because of a leak or anything, she's got to go around the block, knock on their front door, and tell them, I've got to get in your yard because I've got to get access to my water meter. And she told me they got mad at her every time she did that. But tough luck, you know, she told them, she said, well, you enclose my water meter in your backyard, so if you don't want me coming over here bothering you to get into the backyard to get to my water meter, take down your fence and move it back to your own property line. Well, they don't want to do that. Well, I don't think it's really legal, but nobody can do anything about it except the property owner. And since the lot next to me is a vacant lot, the owner does not live here, he did not even know they were doing it. And I notified everybody I could notify to get it stopped, and it didn't do any good. because I didn't want to bother the man. He's an older man. His wife has been in and out of the hospital. She's basically not going to get any better. And you know he's worried about that. He's stressed out about it. And I really didn't want to bother him with it. But I have no alternative. I said, well, at least got to let him know what they're doing. Then it's up to him. He may not want to bother with it because he probably doesn't want to be aggravated with it. He might just let it go. I don't know. But they think because they put that fence down, it's established a fence line all the way across my property too, and that's not going to work. Because my property in the back does not go straight across from their property line to the next property line over here. It comes out to a point like that. And in that point is basically where my water meter is. And they think they can come straight across and block it off with a fence. No, they can't. And I will stop them. Anyway, that's enough about that. Let's get on happy thoughts. Hey there, Caleb. How are you doing? Uncle BB said my tough grandma used to say, lay them out. Well, I don't know. I just figure if they push me too far, somebody's going to get hurt. And it'll probably be me. Because I know these Mexicans, construction workers, are a lot stronger than I am. But if they ever lay a hand on me, I'll just have them arrested for assault, plain and simple. Yes, ma'am, the sun is shining bright today. It's hot. It's like 95 degrees. It's too hot to do anything in the yard in this time of day. It was too hot at 12 noon. I'm doing good, Caleb. How are you? If I could get rid of my allergies, I'd be awesome. It'd be awesome. If I could just say goodbye to my allergy and they'd be gone forever. Oh, that would be so fantastic. But yeah, they know they're not supposed to do that. And they had the lot next to me surveyed because they told the guy they wanted to know where the property line was because they were thinking about buying the lot. When the whole time was they just wanted to know where the property line was across the back so they could put a fence on it. That's exactly what it is. Because the guy told me he was not selling that lot to any of them. He said he'd sell it to me if I wanted to buy it, and there was no rush in doing that because he doesn't have to sell it. But anyway, I am so thankful to be able to come in here and just forget everything. Well, good, Jana. I hope so. Okay, Uncle BB. But see, this community is just now starting to really grow so that these home builders and realtors are coming in buying up all the lots they can buy. Oh, look at that. We've got this hater in here using my name and my profile picture to harass my live chat. Somebody get them out of here. Because that is not me in chat right now. Yeah, I think I know where these trolls, especially this one's coming from. It's coming from another channel that caused me problems here a while back, trying to shut my channel down. And I don't know why. I've never done anything to their channels. I mean, the whole family's got videos, their own channel. I've never done anything against them or to them or said anything against them. And I don't know why they're after me to shut me down. But you know, you think even on a YouTube live stream or on a YouTube channel, people would leave you alone. I guess so, Jana. They're just jealous. Maybe they feel threatened that my channel's growing and some of theirs is not growing as fast. I don't know. But I was listening to one of their live streams one time. I wasn't in it. I was just like a silent viewer, and I heard him tell him we got to get rid of Texas, telling all his subscribers, because he wanted any of them that would to do anything they could do against my channel. He said, we got to get rid of Texas. Yeah, I know who you are if you watch my live. And you have been reported. So, yeah, nothing but troublemakers. They do that to a lot of people that start doing good on YouTube because they don't want you to get the views. They don't want you to get the subscribers. They want all of them. Well, I'm not taking any subscribers away from them. People are free to watch any YouTube channel they want to watch. They're free to subscribe to anybody's channel they want to subscribe to. And just because they try to shut my channel down doesn't mean they're going to go automatically to any of their channels to watch any of their videos, you know? It's crazy. They're jealous because your Granberry's Martha Stewart. I don't know about that, but... Yeah, I even like to watch some of their videos sometimes, especially one of the family members, because I thought they were a really sweet person, but yeah, I don't go to any of them anymore. They claimed I was stealing their subscribers. I don't take anybody's subscribers. Like I said, people can subscribe to any channel they want. They can go watch any videos they want. I don't force them to watch my channel. I don't force anybody to subscribe to my channel. By all means, if anybody doesn't want to be here, go somewhere else. You know, I mean, it's crazy. You think you were back in elementary school or junior high when you got bullies going around out there, you know? That this bunch is a bunch of bullies is what they are. Exactly, Claire. They don't rate. They don't rate at all with me. They're like on the 0 scale. But tell me something happy that's been happening with y'all. Something good. Or if you got gardening, cooking questions, craft questions, anything like that, this is the time to put your question in the chat. I'm doing great this afternoon, Henry. If I could get rid of my allergies. I was out there mowing, and I mowed to right at dark last night in the backyard and in the easement. Actually, I mowed in the easement, and I got it finished just in time that my blade fell off of the weed eater. I got a metal blade on it, and it broke inside, so there's no way you can attach it back. Yeah, tell me something good, y'all. I want to hear something good. Oh, one thing's good. I reordered the presents for my brother, my older brother in Tucson, and my son. They came today. So hopefully next week I will get my son's present to him. His birthday was May 29th. And I will get my brother's in the mail. His birthday was May 27th. And I emailed this company. They told me that my packages were held up in Ireland. Well, I had no idea this stuff was coming from Ireland, or I would not have ordered it to begin with. They said it was held up at the border in Ireland due to Trump's tariffs. And I wrote back to them, sent them an email in return. I said, well, that's understandable. If they're held up at the border, you can't ship them to me. I want a full refund for both of them. Everything I ordered, I want a full refund. I haven't heard from them yet, and I haven't got my refund yet, but I better. Or I will go to other extremes to get my refund, because I don't need the merchandise anymore. I don't want it a month after I order something. Uncle BB said my text message app on my phone wasn't working, but my phone and off. It fixed it. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Yep, Donna, God is good all the time. God will take care of this situation. All of the situation. Yeah, I never try to order anything that comes from out of the country if I know it beforehand. But this advertisement that I ordered this merchandise from, it appeared to be in the United States. There was no way of telling that it was coming in from out of the country, or I would not never have ordered it. But I found the same thing on Amazon, and I should have looked on Amazon before I ordered from the other place. But I ordered, it came today. I've got it wrapped, ready to go. And I'm just going to do my darndest to get my refund from this company in Ireland or wherever they are. It showed tracking where it was crossing the whole country of Ireland and then stopped right at the border, I guess. We can't ship it due to the tariffs. I said, well, you can't ship it? Refund my money. Take your merchandise back. I don't want it anymore. Don't need it anymore. You think if they knew they couldn't ship out of the country due to a tariff, they wouldn't have sent it the first place. They would have just said it's not available. I mean, that would have been so much easier, but they want you to give them your money. Well, they're going to give me mine back, because they charged me 3 times on my bank account for this merchandise. And I only ordered 2, but I was charged 3 times. Remember the wool blankets? Yeah, I remember those, but I don't think we ever had any in our house. We had a lot of homemade quilts that my mom made, or my grandmother made. My aunts would make homemade blankets too. And I don't remember the blankets we had on the beds when we lived in New York when I was small. I honestly don't remember what kind of blankets they were. You know, when you're 5, 6, and 7 years old, you don't pay attention to what kind of blankets you got on your bed. Yeah, I got emails on them saying they were shipped, and when I checked the tracking, it was moving across Ireland. And then every time I check it, it would move a spot, but it was still in Ireland, and then it got to a point where it stopped. It never went anywhere else. And that's when I messaged them what was going on with my shipment. I said, you charged me 3 times for this, something I only ordered 2 of. And they said, well, it's held up at the border because of the tariffs. We can't ship it. I said, good, you can't ship it? Refund my money. Well, I haven't got my refund yet. So we'll see. Old-timey blankets with satin border. You don't see them anymore. Remember the wool blankets? I remember the first electric blankets I had on my bed. I don't know I think they were cotton blankets, but they look kind of similar to a wool blanket. But I don't really think they were wool. I've got one that my aunt made me and she gave it to me. And then I've got 2, I think, that my mom made and gave me. And one is got beautiful butterflies on it that are hand appliqued on. And it's a beautiful quilt. Yeah, I do Prime too, so I don't have any shipping costs. But I had it sent to me because I wanted to make sure what I got before I sent it to my brother in Tucson. So now I will have to pay the shipping to ship it on further to him. Whereas it wouldn't have cost me anything extra just to had it just sent to him directly. When Janice said when I was little, I would take blankets out of my grandma's hall closet and drape over the card table in their hall, and I would go in and fall asleep. You'd make you a tent with it. When I was a kid, I wanted the blankets on Donna Reed. I was a nutty kid. I don't remember the blankets on Donna Reed. I don't even remember watching Donna Reed's show. I mean, that's so many years ago. World is not empty, beautiful, nice people's one of my sweet, beautiful friends. Well, thank you, Caleb. Yes, I did. I've done something like that with my granddaughter when she was over here, when she was really tiny, you know, just a little toddler. I put chairs together and drape a quilt over it and make it like a quilt tent. And I'd get inside it with her, and she thought that was neat. It is a tent, yeah. Yeah, she thought it was really neat. We had a tent inside. She had her own tent inside the house. No, I don't have any idea why Disneyland does fireworks every night. Why do they do fireworks every night, Joshua? I've made a couple of quilts on my own, but they're nothing to look at. I mean, I didn't do a very good job at it. My mom always had one of those great big quilt frames that you stretch the quilt out on to be able to hand quilt it. I never had one of those, never wanted to get one because I didn't want to spend that much time quilting. But she always did a beautiful job. And most people today don't hand quilt anymore. They have these big quilting machines. They still got the big frame to stretch the quilt out on, but it goes through an actual machine, just like a sewing machine, that quilts it for them. And you can set it at any pattern to do the quilting on it. Claire said fireworks at Disneyland is happy time after Mickey Mouse show. Uncle BB, that is what we called her nanny. Well, one of my grandmothers, my mom's mom, that lived in New York, we always called her Nana. And I think it was because my oldest brother, Billy, started calling her that when he was a baby, you know, just talking. I don't know if that was the only word that would come out of his mouth when he tried to say her name or what, but he called her Nana. So it stuck all the years with all the grandkids. So everybody started calling her Nana. Now, my other grandmother, the one, my dad's mom, we just called her Grandma. Grandma. It was always Grandma with her. Maybe some people in live chat have no Disneyland does fire. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, Joshua. I didn't know it. Donna said she loves the roses on my toilet seat. Well, it's kind of a novelty. Not everybody has hand-painted roses on their toilet seat. I have to admit that. But I told y'all the story about that, didn't I? I mean, I did a video on it. Something where I showed that toilet seat that I hand-painted with roses. It's because I was going to replace the toilet seat, and I couldn't get the bolts out. And I didn't want to break anything. So I left because it was not cracked or broken or anything. It just didn't look good. So I got the brainstorm. I was going to paint roses on my toilet seat. I'd be the only one probably in this whole world that has roses hand painted on their toilet seat. And my mom tickled me one time. She saw it after it was painted the first time she visited me on vacation. And she looked at it, she said, "Linda, will they come off if I sit on them?" I said, "No." I said, "They're hand painted on. They got a glaze over the top. You're not going to get paint on your butt if you sit on the toilet." I had to laugh at her, but you know, she was getting kind of elderly, so. But that was kind of comical. Please tell me when you launch YouTube channel. Well, this is my YouTube channel, Caleb. I post videos usually every single day. And then I do a couple of lives throughout the week and maybe on Sunday or Thursday night. So this is my YouTube channel. I don't have to launch it. It's already going. I've had this YouTube channel for several years. I just recently, about 3 years ago, started posting videos and lives on it. So yeah, my channel's already launched. It was launched many years ago. Linda, what do the crowns mean next to the people's names in your chat? I'm not sure. Maybe they're members or they've joined the channel. You know, I do have paid members, paid subscribers. And the ones in blue with the wrench are all moderators. But they've got so many different symbols that they put next to different people's names. And it just all depends if they've joined the channel, if they're a member, you know, if they're paying members or if they're free members or what's going on with them. Claire says, I love watching YouTube live. Well, Sunday usually is my live that I get in and I chat with everybody. You know, this is the time if you got questions on gardening or any of that thing, gardening, composting, arts and crafts, cooking, now is a good time that we can ask questions and get answers. Usually the other times I try to do something in a live, like Thursdays we started doing trivia. We haven't done that in a couple of weeks. I think I came in third with the crown, Clara said. Yeah, you got number 3 next to your crown. And I'd have to look it up in my different symbols to be able to tell you what each thing means. Because offhand, I'm clueless like you are. They've changed a few of the settings and different things that you offer your members and your subscribers. So I'd have to go in there and check on it to be able to tell you, because right now I don't have a clue. I could not tell you what the crown and the number means. But I noticed some of them have 1, some of them have the number 2, and some have the number 3 next to the crown. And I, for the life of me, don't know. And I can't find out while I'm in the live because I'd have to disconnect my live. What would join it well? We're joined in fresh tomatoes and in pressed cucumbers. Well, my garden started producing really good because we've been getting so much rain in the cooler temperatures. But these hot days, it stunts the growth on my garden. I still got quite a few green tomatoes out there, and I've still got blooms coming on a lot of the plants. But if it gets off hot and dry, like Texas usually does, I don't know how long my big tomatoes will last out there. And I've noticed I got a little tiny Casper eggplant. Little bitty thing popped out where the bloom was, and you could just see a little bit of white. And I said, oh, I got a white Casper eggplant. I hope no bugs bite it. I hope it just produces and grows and gets to be a real pretty one. I can't wait to pick some of them. I don't know how big they'll get. They might not get too big, but I got them blooming and producing out there, so we'll see. Are you doing a lot better than me on the eggplants? My name did that yet. Well, I've got plenty of blooms on some of my Black Beauty eggplants as well, but most of my Casper white eggplants are full of blooms. So I should have some eggplants this year, whether they're black or white. What is my favorite Disney movie back in the day? Oh my gosh. I don't know. I know the best show that I ever watched came on every Saturday, and they always had a lot of the people from the Mickey Mouse shows in this dance show. What was the name of it? Come On Every Saturday, where they played music and all the teenagers were dancing, and I don't remember the name of it. And they had some people that would be performing on there, some famous bands. But they'd have Annette Funicello, they'd have Fabian, a lot of the guys that were connected with Mickey Mouse were on this dance show. Henry said, yours got a bunch of flowers on them, but they didn't eat, or they didn't make, or maybe, I don't know. I know that there was a lot of Disney movies I watched, but I can't remember which ones are the Disney movies and which ones were just other movies. Oh, okay. Sheila said the crowns represent the most active people in chat, the ones who comment the most in lives. Heard this from another YouTuber. Okay, I figured it was something like that, but I wasn't sure. It kind of gives you a rating, like if you're in all the lives that come up, you'll have a higher number on your, next to your crown. American Bandstand, that's what it was. Because I remember back in the day when I remember first watching it, you had Annette Funicello, you had Fabian, you had a lot of the people from Mickey Mouse, the Musketeers, on American Bandstand. Yeah, that's what you and your wife discussing right now, Henry said. Well, Dick Clark hosted it, but it was American Bandstand. The name of the show was American Bandstand that they were on, and they were all dancing. They played music, and they had a lot of the singers and performers that performed live on the show. But Dick Clark did host the show for many, many years. I think he was the only one that ever hosted the show that I've ever seen. Disneyland has a castle. Yeah, I'm sure they do. Go-Go Boots, yeah. That was during the era where the song, these boots were made for walking. That made knee boots, white, especially white knee boots for women, very popular. I had boots, but mine were black. They were black. They looked like patent leather because they were that real shiny leather or whatever they made them out of. Soul Train, yeah, Soul Train is another one that I watched every week. Soul Train and American Bandstand. I love those shows. They were two of my favorite shows. You always wanted a pair of go-go boots. Well, like I said, I had boots, but they weren't the white ones. I had the black boots. And they come almost up to my knees. Because I've got short legs. It didn't take much for them to hit my knees. Emma knows the fireworks are launched. Maybe so, Joshua. I have no idea. Yeah, but I can't remember the Disney movies. Because there are so many movies back in the day that I really loved. And I don't remember offhand which one were Disney movies and which one were maybe produced by someone else. Yep, Nancy Sinatra made these boots were made for walking famous. And she'll walk all over you. It was kind of a cute song. Disney film back in the day was Mary Poppins. I like Mary Poppins okay. I've watched it a time or two, but it's not my favorite movie. That's, you love Soul Train, Donna? Yep, Nancy Sinatra made that famous. These boots were made for walking. And she made the go-go boots famous too. Everybody wanted a pair of boots when she came out with that song. Really cool dance move on. Yep, that's right. I remember when they had Chubby Checker on there and all of those old timers. Oh, I got to admit, back in the day, I was in love with Fabian. I thought he was the best looking thing. That was until Elvis. Now, when Elvis became popular, oh no, that put Fabian right on the back burner. Yeah, I was trying to remember, is Wizard of Oz a Disney movie? Because I love Wizard of Oz. I could watch that again today at my age, and I'd still love it. I've seen that movie so many times. Yeah, they said we might get some rain this afternoon or this evening, and then we're going to get a heavy rain starting Tuesday for 3 straight days. The Wizard of Oz from in Jim or something. Yeah, oh, I'll tell you what. I was trying to remember how old I was when he first started singing. He was in the Army. And sometimes you'd see him singing in his uniform. And that just put Fabian on the back burner right there. I mean, that's all it took was just that first song with Elvis. And then Elvis was it. Elvis was the king. He still is. It don't matter if he's dead and gone or not, but there's not going to ever be another performer like Elvis. I don't care how many try. There's a lot of good impersonators out there, but it's not Elvis. He was one of a kind. I love Sleeping Beauty. Now that was a beautiful movie. Yeah, I didn't think Wizard of Oz was a Disney movie. I wasn't quite sure on that, but I really didn't think it was. The Wicked Witch was not scary. No, she wasn't really scary in that movie. You love Bobby Vinton too? Well, I thought a lot of the guys on that Mickey Mouse Musketeers or whatever they called them were cute, but Fabian topped them all until Elvis come along. And then when Elvis started singing, forget Fabian, he's history. Yes, he was, Mary. I mean, there's some hunks out there today, but they're not Elvis, are they? They don't look good and sing like he did. I mean, that was just a thing, I thought he was the greatest thing going and coming, but I knew I would never be around him. I'd never date him. You'd never be with him. It was just an infatuation with him. I thought he was just so good looking. And loved to hear him sing. And my grandmother Barnhill, oh my God. Don't you dare get in front of her and that TV when Elvis was on. She would whip you with a stick. She had it right down to everything timed to where she was sitting down in front of her TV when anything came on that had to do with Elvis. Elvis was it with her. Plain and simple. Your grandma paid lots of money to see his show in Vegas and ended up riding the elevator with him. Oh my God. That made her day, didn't it? If she was in the actual elevator with the real Elvis. Oh my God. Not many people would get that opportunity. I'd probably pass out. Yeah, my grandmother would have never been able to go to Vegas to see him, but if he had a movie on TV or he was singing on TV or he was on anybody's talk show and she found out about it, she set her time schedule to be right there on that, in front of that TV to see Elvis. Your grandpa paid too much money. Yeah, my grandmother loved Elvis. And you know, she knew, she didn't love him in the fact that she wanted to be with him or anything like that. She just loved Elvis. He was the best looking thing. He was a good singer. She just would not miss any time he was on the TV. She would not miss it. You don't think she slept that night? It'd probably be a week before I'd be able to go to sleep if I was ever in an elevator with Elvis Presley. Oh my God. I'd probably pass out. And then I'd be in his arms because he'd have to catch me or get me up off the floor. No, he wouldn't do it. His bodyguards would. That's funny. Yeah, you don't know what your reaction would be to be that close to somebody famous. I really like the Elvis movie that Tom Hanks was in. I don't know which one that was because I've seen so many of his movies. Okay, Janine Spurgeon, you have a great day. You're going back to the Weather Channel. Well, be safe if you get some bad weather in your area. Just be safe. Don't take any chances. We could use a little bit of rain because there's some of my plants out there that could use a little extra water today because it's been so hot. So if it would rain a little bit this evening, it would be great. I wouldn't have to get out there with a bucket and water them with compost tea. But it's too hot out there now to do it. I do it later on. Or I may even wait till tomorrow. Oh, not here, there. Okay, yeah. Well, thank you for the warning, Janine. I thought you might have bad weather coming in your area, too. Okay, Claire, you have a blessed night. Have a good day tomorrow. Be safe. Austin Butler and Tom Hanks. And you know, for the life of me, I hate to say it, because I think he's a real good performer. He's a good singer. But when Justin Bieber came out and started being real popular with all these young girls, I didn't see it. It's like, what do you see in this kid? I mean, does nothing for me. I mean, I didn't even like a lot of his songs, but a lot of them were okay. But he was definitely no Elvis. But all these teenage girls, oh, they were dying for Justin Bieber. Oh, my God. Have you ever heard of Flight of the Navigator movie? I probably have seen it, Joshua. I think I've seen just about all of the Darth Vader movies or any of the space-type movies. Flight of the Navigator, I don't know. I may have seen it. I may not have. I'll have to check on it. But it sounds like something I would want to watch if I haven't seen it. Flight, is it a new movie? I'm writing the name of it down. Flight of the Navigator movie. So I will check it out. Yeah, but if anybody has to leave chat, go ahead. I mean, I know you got things to do. This is Sunday afternoon. You know, I perfectly understand. Just have a blessed night, blessed day tomorrow. Stay safe. And we'll see you next time if you have to leave. Old movie of 1986. I've probably seen it then. It was about 12 years old. Boy who traveled with 8 years into the future from 78 to 86. I don't know if I've seen that or not. But I guarantee you I'm going to check on that because that sounds like a movie that I'd be interested in watching. Oh no, I came across a post on TikTok or somewhere where Justin was in court for some, I don't know if he was supposed to testify for or against Diddy, but during his trial, but I didn't check into it. I just passed it on by. I said, I don't need to know about all that stuff. You know, it's a shame that Diddy got mixed up in all that garbage. I mean, you know, he made a lot of money just performing and being who he was. He didn't have to get into drugs and people trafficking and all this other stuff. That was the Navigator, that young boy. I'm going to have to check that out, Elaine. Dirty Diddy. Well, give me a minute. Wet my throat a little bit. It's just a shame that a lot of these performers, you know, they get famous. They start making lots and lots of money. And then they get shady. The money that they make on their performances is not enough for them. They got to get into all the shady, illegal stuff behind the scenes. And that's bad. Exactly, Jana. Diddy is his own evil creation. Exactly. He should have stayed clean. He should have stayed with performing and making his money that way. He should not have got into all the illegal, shady stuff behind the scenes. That's one thing I can say about the performer like Dolly Parton. How many times have you ever heard that she was arrested for drugs, or she was arrested for sex trafficking or something like that? She made all her money legally. You know, she had business sense. She knew what to do with her money. She started Dollywood to bring in income and income for her family. Why couldn't Diddy do something like that instead of going underground? J-Lo was all in there too. I wouldn't doubt it. I'd hate to know that J-Lo had anything to do with the illegal businesses. But, you know, I knew she was involved in there with Diddy, but let's hope she didn't have anything to do with all his illegal stuff. But she may have, who knows? You never know today. But there's so many real nice, beautiful people out there that perform, they sing. You know, they make a lot of money and they never go to the dark side, so to speak. They never go to the illegal way of making money. And bless their heart for it. Exactly, Tamara. Dolly was raised with religion and never forgot it. Unfortunately, today, even with the famous people that make tons and tons of money, it's a backstabbing world out there, you know? Well, I've got to admit, I think I was raised right. My parents raised me to believe in God, to believe in the 10 Commandments. And they said if you could never do anything else, live by the 10 Commandments. If you can do that, you're good. And I've kept that in my mind my whole life. The few times that I have almost like indirectly gotten into trouble. It was not my doing. It was kind of like I was associated with somebody that did. But, I was never involved in anything. I never got charged with stuff like that. I'll stay away from all that stuff. I've got enough problems in my life. I don't need other people's illegal businesses to get into my life. I was raised to believe, even from my grandparents, my grandmothers, if you're a married person, you're off limits to the world out there. I mean, as to like other men, other women, if that man is married, other women should have the decency and respect to know that man is married and stay away from him. He's not eligible. He's not up for grabs. Stay away. Same with the woman. If she's married, living with her husband, she's off limits to you men out there. There's plenty of single women out there. Go get them. And we were even like that through high school when teenage girls first started dating. If that guy was dating your friend over there, you knew that guy was off limits. It didn't matter if you liked him or if you thought he was good looking or you would like to date him. He's dating that girl. You leave him alone. Now, if they break up, he's free game, but yeah, that's the kind of standards I grew up with. I don't know what the rest of this world grew up with. Do I have any professional degree? Computer science and business. I don't have anything in psychology or anything. I mean, I did take a few classes in psychology, but I don't have a degree in psychology. I probably would have if I'd have just changed majors and got into psychology. That would have probably been an easier route to take than the one I did take. Yeah, he eventually got caught. But, a lot of his drugs was prescription. It was given to him by his doctor. And I blame his doctor more than I do Elvis. Because the doctor knew he was giving him too much stuff. He should have cut him off. But then, too, the doctor even said on camera that if he'd have cut him off, he'd have went, so another doctor, he would have went somewhere else and got it. And maybe got it illegally. And no telling what he would have ended up with. And it basically started out pills to stay awake, pills to go to sleep, pills to wake him up, that type of thing. And it led into a lot more. There are women who want to, yeah, that's true, Jana. That happened to me. I know firsthand. My ex-husband was big man on Comanche Peak nuclear power plant job. He was one of the gold hats, as they call it, one of the top men. And there was women out there that worked, that were divorced or single, that had kids and needed help. And they set their they set their sights in for my husband. And finally he left, took off with one of them, ended up married to one of them, and after 3 months of being married to her, he threw her out. He learned his lesson, and then he was trying to come back to me. And after that experience, I wouldn't let him come back. He realized all she wanted him for was his money, because she knew he was making good money. He was top man on the job. But it ruined our marriage. It ruined our family, because my son, his dad left, and that really hurt my son. He was real close with his dad. But back then, when we moved out here, the women didn't have any type of morals out there. They were just out for the paycheck they could get. They had their paycheck that they made on the job, which was pretty good money. And they wanted their paycheck too, so they went after the men. It didn't matter. Yeah, if I can talk. It didn't matter if they were married or single. They went after them. Well, Mary, I would never have trusted him after that. I'd have just known every time he left the house he was out with some other woman. I never would have trusted him. It wouldn't have mattered what he did, how much he begged and pleaded and said he was sorry, how much he said to me. I never would have trusted him after that. I never could have been married to him again. Yep, takes two to tango. But a lot of times when the men are on a job, doing their job, and they got women right up in their face constantly every single day that they're on the job, sooner or later these men give in, you know. Some of them don't, but some of them do, and it's unfortunate. But if I know a man's married, I'm not going after him. I'm not even going to try to go after him. I have more respect for myself than that. Yep, once that trust is gone, you don't get it back. Unfortunately, you don't get it back. Your Life with Pippintine says, hi Linda, I'm sitting here with Linda watching Linda. Linda is my mom's best friend. Best friend? Well, good. Well, unfortunately, my grandparents in New York, you know, my grandfather ended up a New York City police officer and detective at the time he retired. He was on the police department, I mean, on the fire department. He'd been in the Army, all that. But after he retired, he moved to Florida. And I don't know what the situation was. I don't know if he had his girlfriend at that time or not. But all I know is he moved to Florida and he was living with a woman in Florida. Now, he never did get a divorce from my grandmother. They stayed married until he died. I mean, they both died being married. They never got a divorce because it was not in their religion to get a divorce. They were both Catholic. But he died in Florida, living with his lady friend. And they brought his body back to New York, and my grandmother buried him. He had a VA funeral. He had a military funeral in New York City. The police department was there. The fire department was there. He had soldiers there. Everybody that he'd ever been connected with was at his funeral. It was the biggest thing I'd ever seen in my life for a private, private citizen. I mean, people on the streets when they did his funeral procession, he had fire department, he had police, he had army, so much involved in the procession. People just stopped and looked like, well, who is this? Whose funeral is this, you know? Janice said he was a bus driver for Trailways. Yeah, sometimes they do, Jana. They do stay together knowing, but I got kind of tired of being beat up when my ex come home. He'd come home from the job and he was either stressed out or something from the job, I don't know, but he'd always start arguments with me and we'd get in a fight and I'd end up being the one that got hit. After 10 years of that, you get tired of it. I thought to myself, well, go ahead and leave. Go ahead and beat her up a few times. See how much she likes it. And after she got him, she didn't want him because she knew she wasn't going to get all the money that she thought she was going to get out of him. He ended up closing out his checking account, his credit cards, everything to keep her from getting money because she would... Back then at Walmart, you could go buy $300 worth of merchandise, take it back, and get a cash refund. And that's some of the stuff she did. She'd take the money instead of paying the phone bill and go spend it, go shopping with it. But anyway, that's gone. That's history. Don't involve me anymore. Yep, change the subject. What are y'all's plans for tonight and tomorrow? Anything good going on? I don't see any replies. Have you heard of the brand new electric Lansing? Altic Lansing before? No, I've never heard of that. What is that, Joshua? Jan is making angel hair pasta and stewed tomatoes. That sounds good. I don't know what I want for dinner. I got a little bit of that pork roast left. I might just make me a pulled pork sandwich with it and not have to cook. I need to eat that little bit anyway. I think there's just about enough of it left to make a pulled pork sandwich with it. Okay, Mary. Nothing going on here. I'm coming for supper, Jana. Yeah, we're all going to Jana's for supper tonight. We'll be there by the time you get it on the table. It ain't going so well. Oh, no. I don't even know how long we've been on here. 86 minutes. Got 55 watching right now. That's pretty good. Mary said, forget it, Janet. It's not, if it's not good. Y'all might want to rethink that. Oh, no. Well, if we get there and it's not any good, we'll just order in some pizza. How about that? That sounds like a plan. We can order in some good old hot pizza and call it a pizza night at Jana's house. Yeah, I never like to get to talking about bad things in my chat. It just seems like every time something comes up and I end up talking about stuff, and I don't really intend to do that. I want to keep my lives light and airy and fun and on good topics to lighten your spirits, not to bring you down, not to make people sad. Mary said, sounds good, Linda. Sounds like a plan to me. If we get there and we don't like what Jana's got, we'll just order in pizza. Joshua said, that speaker I got for my birthday last year, should Google it, Linda. It's called Mix 2.0. Oh, that's what that Altic Lansing is. It's a speaker. It's like, yep, that's right, Jana. It is life. I know. But we always try to keep our chat real light and fun and get people in a good mood. Uplift spirits, not bring you down. That's what my plan is anyway. We got Wild Water. Hello to Wild Water. I could make my homemade. Yeah, that's true, Jana. I haven't made a homemade pizza in a while now. I'm due to make a pizza. Homemade pizza. I'd have to go buy me some pepperoni, though. I don't have any more pepperoni. And I got to have pepperoni on my pizza. I'm sorry. I like a lot of stuff on my pizza, but you got to start with pepperoni. Got to start with your sauce, cheese, and pepperoni, and then go from there. Everything else is added extras. And I don't know, I think I did tell you about the time I didn't feel good, so I decided I was going to order a takeout from Domino's Pizza, and they're across town, because that was probably the less expensive pizza place in this town. Well, I got on there and I ordered me a pepperoni pizza with extra cheese. Went out there, paid for it, brought it home. I didn't check it before I left. Got home and I opened it. It had no pepperoni on it. It was piled full of onions, garlic, and cheese. And I looked at it and I thought to myself, oh my God. And I said, I don't even feel like going back out there to complain. So I sat down and I said, well, I'm going to try to eat it. Because I like onions and I like garlic. I like all that, And to my surprise, it tasted pretty good. I don't know if I was just that sick or if it was that good. But it made me feel better. It got rid of the flu symptoms I had. And I've always heard that garlic and onions cooked together was a great cure-all for flu symptoms, cold symptoms, any of that stuff. But I'd never tried it. But I ate that pizza, y'all. It took me 2 days. It was a small one, not a real big one. It took me 2 days to eat that pizza, but that's all I ate because I didn't feel good. And by the time that pizza was gone, I was better. Edith's back. She says, I came in earlier, can't remember. I think he came in earlier. I'm not sure. Janice said you can come on over. It's good. Well, we're on our way then. Wildwater says, I eat tons of garlic when I get sick, and the next day I feel it. Yeah. There was some black ladies up when I worked in phone sales in Fort Worth. They worked there too. And they told me about this recipe that they used. They said, you just cut up a whole onion, tons of garlic, cook it in a pot till you basically just cook the garlic and the onions all to pieces. It's just mush. And then she said you take the mush and you eat it. You just take a spoonful of it and eat it. And another way to do it is to keep it watery, cook it all down, keep it watery, and then drink it. And they said, I swear by it, it will get rid of your cold, it will get rid of your flu symptoms, it makes you better. And it does work, because I've done it. That's one reason, I like the taste of garlic and I like onions. And I think I put onions and garlic in just about everything I cook. Edith says, I love black woman's hair. It's always so beautiful. Always so nice and curly. And they can cut it off short and it always looks so neat. Believe it or not, that's the way, Edith, that's the way my hair looked when it started growing back after I lost all my hair from chemo years ago. It came back so kinky, curly, you couldn't even comb it. It looked exactly like that, like a black lady's hair that was all frizzy and kinky and curly. And I couldn't do anything about it. I just had to let it grow out, and I kept it cut off until it grew past that kinky, frizzy look. And I got it halfway to normal, but it's still not my normal hair. I'll never have my normal hair back again. Yeah, you put honey to it. I forgot the honey. You put honey in it, lemon. It fights inflammation. Yep, it certainly does. But you can cook it and it speeds up the process. Just put your onion and your garlic in a pot, chop it all up, add water, put your honey in there and cook it till the onion and the garlic's just cooked to mush. And then you can strain it if you want it and then just drink it. Just drink a little glass of it a day until you're better. My hair is just real thin now. It's not thick like it used to be, and it's frizzy. Now, if I cut it off shorter, it would probably end up being like wavy curly, not real curly, but like wavy type. And I did have it cut after all that frizz grew out of it. And I think I've got a picture on my profile on Facebook of it. I did wear a hat, but it was cut shorter, like maybe 3 or 4 inches long, but it was in layers, and it would kind of flip up, curl up in places. It would look like that probably if I would cut it shorter now. Get her curls not to frizz, and hers seems to stay dry. I got pinned straight here. I know, and there's so many hair products on the market that you can put on real curly hair to make it look really neat right after you wash it. But then the first time you try to curl it, comb it or brush it out later, it doesn't look the same. You have to like shampoo it every time to get it to look that way. Joshua said, Desert Michael have locked door thing. When you start, it locks the door for your orange. Does your... You have a press 0 to unlock. Oh, really? I know what you mean, Kayla. You like my hair when it's down, yeah. It's been too hot today. I had to pull it up and get it off my neck because it was making me so hot. I've been wanting to cut it off, make it shorter, like 3 or 4 inches long, and cut it in layers and let it just flip up and curl. But I said if I do that, I can't pull it back. It won't be long enough to pull back and put up. I'll just have to let it hang down. But it's easy enough to fix that way. I just get in the shower, shampoo it, towel dry it, and let it go, and it looks good. But I don't know what to do. I don't know if I want to cut it off or not. That was not funny, the trolls. I didn't see a comment. Somebody must have got rid of them. She's an elderly lady, Dark, but she's not an old lady. So why are you asking if she's old or not? That's not nice. Dark, you need to behave yourself or we'll get you out of here. I don't know how old Edith was. She told us a couple of times, and I don't remember. You're asking her age. Well, it's not nice to ask people's age. If they want you to know, they'll tell you. How long have we been on? We've been on here an hour and a half. No. Yeah, hour and a half. Yeah, so don't get Edith upset. She gets upset easy, and I don't want you to do that. Her blood pressure goes up when she gets upset, and then she doesn't want to come into the chat because of that. It means that they come into the lives more often than other people. They usually come into the lives every time I have a live. That's what I'm told anyway. I haven't had time to check it out, so I don't really honestly know. But the ones that come into the lives more often than others have end up with a crown next to their name and a number. That's what I'm told anyway. And Edith is a moderator, so she probably wouldn't have a crown next to her. She's got a wrench. She's got the ability to take you out if she wants to. Yes, ma'am, I've worn my hair short. Like when it was growing back after I lost all of it from chemo. It was short then. Caleb calls it when my hair is open. That he means when I wear my hair down and not pull back up. Linda, when you started, it locks doors. I was trying to say, does your microwave have a locked door? No, my microwave does not have a lock that I know of. Oh, Wildwater, you say your granny's name is Edith. You think it's a beautiful name. And we don't hear enough now. Huh. I had an Aunt Edith when I was growing up. I love that woman to death. She never did have children. She was married to my Uncle Arthur. And they never had children, but they were the sweetest couple. Yep, that's what he was saying, Edith, that you had his granny's name, Edith. Have you heard of Panasonic? Yeah, I know about Panasonic, Joshua. That's a good brand. Yeah, nothing will bring my hair back to where it's ever going to be as thick as it used to be. I know I've seen a lot of hair products advertised to make your hair grow in thicker and all that. They swear by it. And I thought about ordering some of it one time, and then I said, nah, like so many other things they advertise, I'm just wasting my money. I'm a woman, LOL, sorry I did say that many think I'm a male because of my username. Okay, Wildwater. Yeah, everybody, Wildwater is a female, in case anybody's wondering. In fact, when I went to my daughter's wedding, her second wedding, she was divorced and remarried. My hair had just grown in, and it was probably about that long, about an inch long all over my head. You couldn't fix it. You couldn't do anything with it. But I did color it, and you know, when you shampoo it and dry it, it's just flat to your head. There's no style to it, except you look like a little pixie hairdo. And it looked good. I mean, it looked okay, but it was short for my daughter's wedding, yeah. But I did have hair, at least. I felt fortunate for that. I don't think I've got any of those pictures on my Facebook page. I don't know that I got any of my pictures of my daughter's wedding on there. Are you still in the hospital, Edith? And there's Ashley Chapman. You're almost a stranger. Oh, one of Pat's friends at church, her granddaughter is named Edith. She's 8 years old. But I know Edith said the other day she was in the hospital. I was wondering if she's still in the hospital. I know you're almost a stranger. I haven't seen you in ages. Caleb, my hair, the color is as natural as can be. It is colored, but it's colored basically the natural color of my hair. Put it that way. You got discharged Friday. Well, good going, Edith. You're back in the facility. Okay. Well, that meant you got a little better anyway. You still have to worry about your blood pressure, though. You don't ever want your blood pressure to get too high. Yeah, I've worn my hair all kind of ways. Short, long, frizzed up in the afro that people wore way back in the 60s, in the 70s. Mine wasn't intentional, though. I had never put a perm in my hair before, but I wanted it a little bit curlier than what my natural curl was. So I put a permanent in my hair. Oh my God, y'all. It looked like it did back when I was getting over the chemo when my hair first started coming in. It was all kinky curly. You couldn't comb it really, and it just stood out. I mean, it was just straight up on top, frizzy curly. I had an afro whether I wanted it or not. My daughter laughed at me. And back then, at that particular time, I had lost weight. All these women were getting down to their bone structure, as they called it, so I got involved in that too. I weighed like 100 pounds, soaking wet. And here I am with this great big afro. And I always took my kids to the skating ring on the weekend. They loved to go to the skating ring. But most of the time, you know, we'd all get skates, even me, because I love to skate. And we'd get out there and start skating. And before I knew it, my daughter and my son were over playing the video games. They weren't even out there skating anymore. Here I am skating with everybody else. And she was laughing at me one time when I came around the circle and started coming back toward her. So I skated over to where she was, the railing, and I said, "What are you laughing about? Or what are you laughing about?" She says, "Mom, you look so funny." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "You're so tiny and your hair is like that big." She said, "You look like one big afro just going around the skating ring." One big afro head. And she laughed at me. I said, "Oh, well. Not anything I can do except maybe shave it off." Have you heard from? No, I have not heard from Wilson. I guess maybe he's got busy doing his own thing. And I know Dennis, he's really working hard at his. He's posting videos or shorts like crazy. I mean, sometimes one right behind the other. So he's busy with cooking and doing things with his grandkids to make these little videos that he's doing. He posted a video of his grandkids the other night. They were at his house. They were all sitting in the floor, and they were playing hot potato. You know, we all played that when we were kids, hot potato. I don't remember what they were passing around, but it was hot potato they were playing. I don't know. Some of them have locks. Some of them don't, Joshua. Yeah, I check out Dennis's shorts and his little videos all the time because I have hit the notifications for his set to where every time he posts anything, it notifies me. So I take a look at his videos and his shorts that he posts. Yeah, some microwaves do have locks for safety reasons, but a lot of them still don't. I mean, a lot of people don't have locks on them. But I guess there are some available you can get that have locks on them. Every now and then, pop up on my tablet and I have to skip them. I don't know what pops up, Joshua. I don't know if you're talking about Dennis's lives or shorts or what. Uncle BB said, Linda, my love, you're still on. I was doing some stuff. Glad you're on. Well, I'm glad you're back, Uncle BB. We've got some people that, left us because they had things to do, but most of everybody's still here. Oh no, Wildwater, your dad had a liver transplant 2.5 years ago, and I got to help him build a porch today, and I thought it would never get built with anything with him again. I'm just so happy I did today. Yeah, that's a nice thing to do, because now you'll always know that you helped your dad build that porch. I remember when Dad was laying blocks to our back porch on the original house we had in Atkinson, the one he built. And he was showing me how to use a level. I was watching him lay cinder blocks with cement. All that kind of stuff. I learned a lot from my dad just by being around him and watching what he did, talking with him. Because I was the girl. I stayed home more than my brothers did. Seemed like my brothers were always on the go somewhere. But I was mostly home, so I spent a lot of time watching my dad and getting involved in his building. And I remember when he built this little boat. It's kind of neat little boat. No, I don't go to the beauty parlor, Caleb. I do my own hair. I said I can ruin my hair myself if I want to. Uncle BB, your mom wore those high boots too. She would have been in her 30s. The blower keeps coming on and it's going constantly. I'm sitting here where that cold air blows on me, so every time it comes on, I'm going to start coughing. Because it blows air up under the table I'm sitting at. Edith says, and I saw that they made a false identity. That are really vulgar. Oh, you're talking about the trolls, Edith? Yeah, the trolls can be nasty. That's why we need to get rid of them. That's why we have moderators. To get rid of them as fast as they come into my life. They're terrible people. So anytime you see my picture with my name next to it in somebody's chat like that, even my chat, you know it's not me. Especially if they leave some nasty comment. You know 100% that's not me. Really, Uncle BB, your mom was like that. She followed her dad around when he fixed the roof and stuff. Oh yeah, that's those bad trolls, Edith. Don't even believe any of it. Anytime you see my picture with my name come into my own live chat, you know it is not me. I'm not going to show up in my own chat. They're just trying to cause trouble any way they can cause it. Because you know I would never say that in the chat. Even if I did come in my own live chat, I wouldn't say something like that. And I don't have any need to come into my live chat when I'm talking to you. You know, I'm right here in front of everybody. You're watching me. I'm talking to you. I'm reading your chats. I wouldn't be coming into my own chat box and leaving messages. Exactly, Edith. We're family. Definitely was not me. Pat said I had go-go boots, mid-calf and white. They were pretty cute. I never had white ones. But I did have many pairs of at different times of the black boots. They were just basically like the go-go boots, but mine were black. I didn't want white for some reason. I never wanted white. The microwave we got from Sam's Club is $179. Oh, wow. Pretty good deal. The last microwave I got was at Walmart. I think the last 2 or 3 microwaves I had came from Walmart. And I'm sure the next one I get will come from Walmart. My light is out in my microwave right now, and I don't know how to replace the bulb in it. I don't know if you can replace the bulb in it. It still works fine. The light's just out. And there's Ashley Chapman. Hello, Ashley. That's about what I paid for mine, I think, right here in Walmart. Maybe even less than that. Because I just basically got a standard microwave, just something to heat things up in. That's basically all I use mine for. Except for baking potatoes. I bake potatoes all the time in my microwave. Uncle BB said Mom had several pairs. She had beige suede, kept them in boot trees. Oh, okay. Wow. Well, back when I had mine, I didn't know what a boot tree was. Nobody I knew had boot trees for boots. You were lucky if you got the boots. Exactly, Edith. Couldn't have been better said. Raised under the bridge, they were called trolls. Parents neglected them. Bless them. No, I don't know what inverter microwave is. I had a convection microwave oven when we first came to Texas. But it quit working correctly. I got rid of it, and I just got the plain microwave to replace it. Sometimes I wish I had that convection oven back, because you can bake things a lot faster in a convection oven sometimes than you can a regular oven. But a convection microwave oven combination is pretty expensive. I know we gave about $1,200 for that micro convection oven. That was way back in like 79. They might be a lot cheaper by now, though. It depends on where you get them from. Oh, your puppy's almost 7 months old. How cute. I bet he's a playful little thing. What kind of puppy is he, Ashley? Uncle BB said Mom had a wig head for her wig. I used to have a couple of wigs, and I had one of the wig heads, but that was during the time I did not have any hair when I was going through chemo and stuff. But I never liked them. And I got rid of them as soon as I got hair back. I don't have wigs anymore. It's definitely easier to put a wig on if you don't have any hair, though. A lot easier than it is if you've got a lot of hair and got to get it all hidden up under a wig. That's hard to do sometimes. An Australian Shepherd Pit Bull. Oh my goodness. Ooh. I bet he's pretty and playful, but I don't know if I could do a pit bull. Power on yours is 1250 watts. Yep, that's a pretty good one, I guess. We got Beyond the Veil. Good afternoon. How are you doing? I know it's been a while since I've seen your name pop up in chat. They're called Aussie Pit. I bet he's a pretty little thing, or she. I don't know if it's a boy or girl, but... Oh, she's an Australian Shepherd. So it is a she. She had fake braids she put around her bouffant for special occasions, really. I never had a fake braid, but I've braided mine several times. Wildwater's also got a puppy. He's 4 months old. Great Pyrenees. And I underestimate how fast they grow. Her name is Izzy. Your pit bull or Aussie Pit is named Izzy. That sounds like a good Australian name for a dog. I don't know, my hair was so thick, I had so much hair, I didn't need fake braids and hair pieces and wigs to wear back. Back before my chemo scare. I kind of remember the white lipstick. I never wore any. I thought it was kind of funny looking. Yeah, he's probably going to be full of energy and a handful. And it's me, Ann. Hello, Ann. How are you doing today? A big handful, I bet. Well, the last dog I had was a Labrador Retriever, golden Labrador Retriever, and we named her Beethoven. Because somebody put her out here, and you know me with strays, I start feeding them and loving them and start taking care of them. But at any time you'd walk up to her, she'd lay on the ground and roll over. I don't know if she was playing or what the deal was, but it never failed. Every time you walk up to her, she'd just immediately fall on the ground and roll over. And I started saying, well, you roll over like Beethoven, don't you? So the name stuck. I started calling her Beethoven. I know that name didn't go with a female, but I called her Beethoven because she always would roll over. Does that mean she trusted me? I didn't know what it meant. And I said, well, I hope somebody didn't abuse you. But she was a sweet dog. We got It's Me, Ann just came into chat. We got Ashley Chapman here. Kelly wants me to take my hair down. That means they trust you when they show their belly. Well, that's good to know. Because I never knew why she'd just fall like that and roll over. Maybe she wanted me to rub her belly. I don't know. Uncle BB said maybe she was pet virgin. I've fallen and I can't get up. Wildwater says, my name is Stormy, if anybody wanted to know. Well, you should have used that name for your name in the chat instead of Wildwater. What made you choose Wildwater? Edith said she's going to need a nap soon. Yeah, and we're going to have to get off of here pretty soon. It's going on. Well, it already hit 2 hours. 2 hours and 6 minutes, looks like. But I've been enjoying it. You know me, I get in a conversation with everybody and I keep going. We got JB in the house. Love the tomato sauce video and salsa. Much love from Magnolia, Texas. Well, welcome here from Magnolia, JB. Well, I had it as Stormy and I got kicked off many chats because of trolls. And I had to change my name. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know at first I was going to go live, and then at the last minute this morning I decided I'd go live at the regular time, so I just went ahead and scheduled it. You want me to take my hair down? My goodness. My hair is nothing to look at, and somebody's got my chat to start. We got disco lights coming back in, y'all, so if I disappear, you're going to know I've ended the chat or ended the live. But I just got started having disco lights flashing on my camera. Yeah, that's kind of creepy. I don't know. But my hair's down. It don't look any better now than it did when it was up. Oh, my green bottle. It's a vase. I had one of my gladiolas. The wind broke it off, and it was so pretty. I cut it and I brought it in and I stuck it in that vase. And the gladiolas finally died, so I emptied them. And I washed the vase and I set it on the counter, and I haven't put it up yet. But yeah, that's what that is. It's just a vase. Oh, goodness. It's just a vase. A green glass vase is all it is. It's just right for one long stem gladiola to go in it. You know, because they bunch out at where the flowers are. When did disco lights happen in the 70s? I think so. Was it like early 70s, late 60s? I don't know, back somewhere during that time. I wish it was a genie bottle. I'd be rubbing it. I'd want my genie to come out and give me wishes. I thought you saw Barbara Eden. Well, I didn't know her genie bottle was green. I don't remember what her genie bottle looked like in that show. I know. But it seems like for some reason Caleb always likes my hair to be down. He said he likes my hair. And that's why they request me putting it down. I don't know why. No, I don't like weirdos doing that, but I don't think he meant any harm. He's come in my lives quite often. And they leave nice comments to some of my videos that I've read. So far I don't really have a problem with Caleb. I don't think he means any disrespect or any harm by it. If I did, I wouldn't do it, and I wouldn't even let him in my chat, but I don't think he means any harm. I know, but he mentions my hair, I think, about every other time he's in chat. Yeah, he seemed to be a pretty nice guy. I don't know, maybe the women where he lives, they don't wear their hair down where they can be seen or something. I don't know. Yeah, he might just like long hair. I don't know. But he's never said anything vulgar or prerogative or out of the way, so it's a small request. Seems harmless enough to me, so. Yep, that's what I think too, Donna. That's the only reason I did it. Well, thank you, Uncle BB. But I was so hot earlier, I was outside, and really I was just walking around checking on some things. And one thing I had forgot to do was take my holy basil, my little seedling plants, out of the greenhouse and put them out under the shade area where it was cooler. And I knew that the greenhouse was getting awfully hot. And I've got a couple of little tiny seedlings just sprouted up from the holy basil. And I've been trying forever to get a holy basil plant started. I've got regular basil, but I don't have holy basil. And they say holy basil is the best one to make tea out of. So I was trying my best to get holy basil to sprout and give me a little plant, at least one little plant. And I've got probably 3 or 4 little sprouts that have come up. And I knew if I didn't get them out of the greenhouse, they'd burn up. And just moving around that little bit out there and fussing with some other stuff, oh, it was so hot. I had to finally just come in the house and cool off. It was too hot out there. You ordered your holy basil plants through Amazon. Were they very expensive, Ashley? I had a package of holy basil seeds, so I figured, well, I'll just start me a couple of plants, and I won't have to pay for the existing plant that you can order that they'll charge you, I don't know how much for. So I said if I couldn't get one started from the seeds, then I might break down and just buy the plant later. I don't know. But I wanted to try making some tea with the holy basil. And see, I've made it with just the regular basil, and it's pretty good, but I wanted to try it with the holy basil, because they said that was really the one you make tea with. 3 out of 4 didn't make it, but the one smells so amazing. I know my basil smells so good. You get close to it and start rummaging around the leaves, and oh, you smell it. And the same way with the rosemary. You can't touch rosemary without that smell just getting everywhere. It smells so good. Yeah, $20 for a plant. Yeah, this month is going by fast. It's already the 8th of June, and it seemed like it should still be the end of May. I mean, I've ordered plants before and they didn't make it, and I didn't want to spend $20 on a basil plant to have it die on me. So I said I'd try the seeds first and see what happens. Well, thank you, Uncle BB, but my hair is not it's not anywhere near what it used to be. It used to be really thick. I didn't have to worry about it breaking when I brushed it. And the only hair that came back after I lost my hair from chemo is all that little thin, fine hair, and it breaks so easy. The sturdy, strong hair disappeared. The chemo killed it off because it kills the roots. I don't know, Tamara. I don't know why February seems like it takes so long to get through that month. Maybe because we're wishing so much for warmer weather. And it seems like the warmer weather never comes in February. I don't know, I just happened to think of it. I haven't seen Gladys today. And Dennis hasn't been here. Wilson's not been here. But they're busy, Gladys has probably got her nurse with her or something. Dennis is probably doing videos and shorts with his grandkids. Wilson, I have no idea. He might be with his girlfriend. Who knows? Next time I sing Take the Ribbon from Your... Well, I sung that before. And that would make Caleb's day. Well, maybe I'll do that. If I can ever get so I can talk without coughing, I might be able to sing a song without coughing. Wilson is probably with Klein K, huh? I don't know. Don't know where Wilson is. He comments once in a while on my videos, but he has not been in my lives lately. So I guess he's just busy. Put my hair up in a ribbon and start singing, take the ribbon from my hair and take the ribbon out and like hand it to you. That cutting board was made at Comanche Peak. That cutting board was made for my husband, my ex-husband, when we were still married. He came home one day with that cutting board that some of the guys that worked down there made. Now, I don't really know if they made it on the job or if they made it at home and then they brought it and gave it to him. But that's where it came from. But I don't really use it as a cutting board, not for meat or anything like that, because over the years using it, the center board separated. It's got like a wooden pin that goes through the holes through all the boards that hold them together. And they were glued together at each, well, there's three. One at one end, one in the middle, and one in the back end. And somehow that glue or whatever came separated, and it opened up a crack right down the center of the cutting board. So sometimes I use it to cut dry stuff on, but I don't use it to cut meat or any type of a product that has any liquid to it, because it would just go through the board and end up on the counter. So I just use it as a countertop basically now. And it's pretty heavy. It's hard. You can't pick it up to wash it because it's too heavy. And like I said, if the liquid goes through the crack and ends up on the counter, then it stays there. And that's not healthy, so I don't use it for that anymore. Yeah, it fits perfect on my counter. And since I put my new stove in about a year or so, a couple of years ago, there's a crack or a gap about that wide between my stove and the counter. And the cutting board takes up that gap, you know, on the top. And I took a piece of wood trim about that wide, long enough from the counter down to the bottom, and I put that along the side of the counter between the counter and the stove to fill up the little gap that it left. And it looks like it's supposed to be there. And there's Fred Romero. Good afternoon. Yeah, I always find ways to fix things like that. It took me forever to find the right size stove to fit in that spot that would go good with the decor in here, which is like kind of a early Western type theme. So I found that stove with the black trim on it, and I said, that's it. And it fit. And it's an older stove. It doesn't even have a light inside, but it works. It fits. So I bought it. I would have loved to have one newer with more newer features on it, but I say, hey, I can't be that choosy. I've got to have one that fits the space. So looks great. Well, thank you. I think it looked pretty good considering I had such a hard time finding one that would fit. Because I not only had to find one that would fit the space to fit it in the slot, basically, but you know, I have that exhaust fan over the top in the wall behind the stove. And one of the biggest problems was getting a stove to fit there. Most of them, they had real high backs that came on the back of the stove, and it would have come up that far over the exhaust fan. And I said, that's not going to look right. I've got to get something that goes below the exhaust fan. And I couldn't find anything anywhere except this stove. So that was my stove, and that's the one I got. It's the old-timey look, the Western look. And I know when I ordered it, I think it was from Home Depot, or was it Lowe's? One or the other I ordered it from. And they couldn't believe it when I went in to look at the stove to make sure it was what I wanted. And they said, this is your stove? I said, yeah. I said, I had the dickens trying to find the stove that would fit where I needed it to go. Even when they delivered it, they couldn't believe it was my stove. I said, well, yeah, because it'll fit here. I guess they thought I lived in a great big fancy house, you know, which I don't. Now we're complete. We got both Tamaras in the house. Hi, Tamara Douglas. How are you doing today? Now we've got Tamara Aimling and we got Tamara Douglas in the house. I think I hear it thundering off in the distance, y'all. So we may get some of that stormy rain or whatever one of the ladies was telling me that we might get. We're under a thunderstorm watch. Yeah, so we may get a shower this evening. Just got home running errands and grocery shopping. Yay. Hope you bought something real good. Paris has a Disneyland? No, Joshua, I didn't know that. I didn't know Paris had a Disneyland. Yeah, my stove doesn't, my oven doesn't have a light. It doesn't have a timer on it. It's just one of the old basic, old timey Western gas stoves, which went great in here because this whole house is like a Western theme. And I had nothing to do with that. That's the way they built it. The dark cabinets, the whole layout is like a Western. So I've just tried to stay with that theme so I knew it would look best, you know. I didn't want something out in here that was going to stick out like a sore thumb that did not look like it belonged here. Oh, Ashley, you're under a thunderstorm watch also. Wow. Well, it is thunder, and I hear it slightly in the distance of the rumbling. Yeah, I hear that. So we got something going on close by. Oh, Ron's making you an enchilada casserole for supper. That sounds so good. I was telling everybody earlier, I think what I'm going to do for supper, I've got a little bit of that pulled pork or the pork roast left that I fixed in that video. And there's, I think, just enough of it to put on a bun and make me a pulled pork sandwich. So that's what I think I'm going to do with that because I need to eat it up, get rid of it. And then I don't have to cook anything. I'll wait and cook something tomorrow. The first storm for you won't be real bad. However, there's worse on the way after dark. Oh, wow, Janine, really? I haven't been watching that weather channel, so I don't know. But I do hear thunder. I hear rumbling, rolling type thunder in the distance. It's not real close on me, but I hear it. And it's getting kind of dark outside, so we may get rain pretty soon. Yeah, I'm not that hungry anyway because I did fix me a good late breakfast, early lunch. And I just need a little bit. That pulled pork sandwich will be plenty for my dinner tonight. Disneyland in Paris opened in April of 1992. Wow. You're just full of all kind of information. And evidently Tamara knows all this stuff too, because she's the one that put in there that Disneyland in Paris opened in April of 1992. It was raining last night in Arkansas, Joshua. We didn't get any rain here last night. Every time I think of that comment that Uncle BB made about take the ribbon from my hair, I've got to remember that the next time I come up with a concert of any kind, sing that song and literally have my hair up with a ribbon and pull the ribbon out when I sing the song. That'll be kind of cute. And if Caleb's listening and watching right now, it'll be for Caleb. They call it wee land. What? Are you talking about the Disneyland that opened in Paris? It's called Wee Wee Land? I don't know. I got lost in this conversation. I don't know what Uncle BB's talking about. So they call it Wee Wee Land. Yeah, we got rain. They've already forecasted. It's going to start raining like Tuesday and rain straight for 3 days nonstop. We're going to get nothing but rain for 3 days starting on Tuesday. And hopefully we'll get some tonight. BB Ooh Land. Owie Land. all gave in to the devil. Y'all have lost me in this conversation. Oh, yeah, well, oui is yes in French. So you're saying they call it yes, yes land? Oui, oui land? I don't know. Y'all have lost me. Sometimes I get so lost in this chat room, I don't know what's going on. But why would you call it yes, yes land? Ann says, on Wednesday I go back to UT Southern to talk to the surgeon about having my spine surgery. Oh, I thought that was... I thought they were telling you before they couldn't do it because it wouldn't help or something. Now they're going to decide to do it? Or is it a different surgery? Look at Disney Tales of Magic. I might do that. But I'm definitely going to look up this Flight of the Navigator. And when I fix my sandwich, that might be what I do. I sit down and eat my dinner, my pulled pork sandwich, and watch Flight of the Navigator. If I can find it. Keeps thundering. It's just rolling thunder out there. I don't see any flashes though, but that doesn't mean it's not lightning. They always say when there's thunder, there's lightning. He changed his mind. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully he can help. Does a spaceship that talks, Linda, in the movie? Oh, wow, that's kind of weird. That's kind of like the Kit car. Remember in that show Knight Rider, the TV series Knight Rider? I love to watch that show. And that's when my kids were smaller and they lived at home. And I think I was still driving my big old 1978 LTD, which is a great big barge of a car, you know. And my kids kept after me, Mom, when are you going to get a new car? When are you going to get a new car? And I said, when they put Knight Rider's car on sale at the car lot, I'll buy a new car because I want Knight Rider's car. I want Kit. I said, when Kit is on sale at the auto dealers, I will buy me a new car because that's the car I want. I want one that will come pick me up and go do what I tell it to do. But of course, you know, that's never happened, so I've never gotten that car, but I've gotten several cars since. But I thought that was the coolest thing in that Knight Rider show, that Kit, he would talk to his watch and tell the car, Kit, come pick me up at the front entrance, you know. Here comes the car to pick him up. "12-hour surgery. Oh my gosh. That's some serious stuff right there if it takes 12 hours. Yeah, that's going to be a long nap. In the Navigator, the boy sings, I get around. It's good. Yeah, you should be well rested after that surgery. 12 hours. Wow. Well, before and especially on Wednesday, we'll all be saying a prayer for you to get through that surgery and get better and be on your way to recovery. But don't you think it'd be neat? I mean, I know there's cars out there that are programmed to tell you, literally tell you when the gas tank needs gas or when your door is open. My son had one. And I think my brother had one. And he said he got so tired of that thing. He ended up figuring out how to disconnect it so he didn't have to listen to it. But it spoke in French. He didn't know French. But it would tell you when the door was ajar, or when you needed to put gas in the car, or when anything was going on that you needed to know. The car would literally tell you, but it spoke in French. And my brother said, I get aggravated listening to it because I don't know what it's telling me. He said I'd have to get a French translator book to be able to figure out what my car is telling me I need. Well, my car doesn't tell me my door is ajar. It just ding, 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 ding. And I know if I want the ding, ding, ding to stop to shut the door. And it does flash up on the screen in front of the steering wheel if your oil needs to be changed or your filters need to be changed or something like that, but it doesn't talk to me. I mean, that kit car in Knight Rider show, you could literally have a conversation with your car. I mean, that's crazy. You could ask Kid anything and he could tell you, he could give you the information. I said, that was cool. I needed a car like that. Had rockets underneath. It was a cool car. I said, I need Kit. That's the car I need. Yeah, I tell my kids that. I said, I'll get a new car as soon as they put Kit on the market. And they look at me like, Mom, you're crazy. Well, I guess he tried to figure out how to change it and he couldn't. It would only speak French and he didn't know how to change all that and he just disconnected it, I think. Ron changed the language. Well, I don't know. He did something to it. He said, I couldn't handle it anymore. Got tired of it. Or if he did ever change it to English, he got tired of it listening to that too, so he disconnected it, I think. Tamara. She said her new car will be a Jetson Mobile. A little rock car with rock wheels. That'd be cute. Somebody made one of those and they put it in a video. And it showed them riding down this little dirt driveway or dirt road in the woods in this little handmade Flintstone car. And it looked really close to the way their little car looked. Take to the sky. Yeah. Dabba dabba doo. Looks like that would be an awfully bumpy ride on one of them little Flintstone cars. Don't have any shock absorbers on it. And the wheels are made out of rock. But this guy was really in it and he was going down this little dirt road, looked like a river road, with this little handmade Jetson car that he made from the Flintstones. And it looked just like the Flintstones should be sitting in it riding it, but it was this guy riding down the dirt road in the car. It was the cutest thing. I said, I wonder how long it took him to figure it all out and build it. Has Tamara heard of Disney Tales of Magic? I have no idea, Joshua. Jetson, not Flintstone. Oh, okay. Well, I'm getting them confused, I guess. Well, the first thing that come to mind when I saw Jetson was the Flintstone car. I don't know why. I don't visualize the Jetsons car, so I don't know what it looks like. I'm going to eat this whole bag of cough drops, I guess. Give me an idea. What does the Jetsons car look like? Tesla's pretty close, yeah. Yep, Tesla is probably the closest thing that we got is to a space age car. You know, the cars of the future, they say, are going to be the hover cars. They're not even going to touch the highway. Be less road maintenance. And I guess your tires would probably dry rot rather than wear out because you're not on the pavement that much. I was like the wife, she walks around with a pocket of correct cough. Yeah, hover cars would do away with a lot of construction for highways, wouldn't it? Or a lot of maintenance anyway, I would think. If everybody was driving hover cars and all the delivery trucks were hover trucks, all they'd have to do is have like landing pads every once in a while for you to take a break or get gas or whatever you needed to do. Crash, boom, bang, yeah. Love my hang down light. Oh, this one up here behind me. Yes, I've heard of Back to the Future. I've watched it many times. That's back in the 60s light. Yeah, but you know, pretty soon there's not even going to be a need for gasoline. I mean, they'll have solar cars. They'll have solar the cars will be made out of solar panels, so you energize your car while you're using it, so you never run out of fuel. You're not going to have to worry about stopping at a station to where you can recharge your battery. It's almost scary in a way of what the future's going to be. And then I probably won't be alive to see most of it because it's so far off in the future. Some of this stuff, but I can imagine. And there's Anthony. Don't bring your ghost in here tonight. I started to have a flashing light going on a little bit ago, and it flicked a couple of times and then it stopped. So I don't know. Maybe the ghost is under control. But before, when I'd been on 2 hours, all of a sudden it was disco spectacular, you know. And it started, but it stopped as fast as it started. So I'm surprisingly surprised by that. I'm doing good, Anthony. How are you? Oh my goodness, we're pushing 3 hours, y'all. We got to get off of here. But I don't want to leave now. Anthony's here. Yes, I've heard of the USB solar panels, Joshua. They've got USB solar panels that you can recharge your cell phone with. You don't even have to plug it into anywhere else, just the solar panel. Oh, you can't sleep, you got a sick kid. Oh, I'm sorry. Tired, I work way too much, but I can't sleep. I got a sick kid. Yeah, when you got a sick child, you got to take care of them. They don't let you get much sleep unless they're asleep. This one is too white sold up. That's not strong enough. It's just kind of weak. That's okay, Anthony. We love seeing you when you do come in. I've been doing great. Just getting hot weather. And we've got a thunderstorm brewing out there now. So I don't know what's going to take place with our little thunderstorm. We could use a little bit of rain tonight, but who knows what's going to happen. Yeah, I hope it gets to feeling better too pretty soon. Gets better over whatever the sickness is. Oh goodness, that doesn't sound good, Anthony. I guess they're trying to get their money's worth out of you. You know, the more they pay you, the more they want you to do. So Tamara said it sounded like her boss. We're pushing 3 hours here. Oh, okay, Anthony. Good deal. They don't know, but I'm saving to open my own business. That sounds fantastic. Then you'll be able to work for yourself. Seemed like you've mentioned that one time before, but I don't remember what type of business you're interested in. Sounds like that rolling thunder's right overhead now. And there's Virgo Boy. Hello, Virgo Boy. Welcome to live chat. We've been going strong for almost 3 hours now. It's raining again. Well, it sounds like it's getting ready to rain here. I got rolling thunder over the top of the house. But I wouldn't mind if it did rain a little bit and water my garden some more. Cybersecurity business and regular security business. Well, that sounds good. I have no idea, Joshua. I don't have any solar panels. Nothing here at my house is solar. They either come in the house if they want to, or they go in the greenhouse. Lucky likes to go in the greenhouse if it's raining. He likes it in there. He thinks that's his house. And I've seen little Buddy in there too. So. But in warmer weather, they don't want to come in the house. Even little Buddy doesn't want to come in the house. He'd rather stay outside. But if it gets real rough outside, I'll let them come in. And if it gets too rough, they want to come in. Like if the wind's blowing really hard and it's blowing the rain everywhere, they want to come inside. And I'll let them come inside until it blows over and then they're back out. I haven't made any supper yet. I was just telling everybody I've got a little bit of that pork roast left. Probably enough to pull it all apart and make me a pulled pork sandwich. Put some barbecue sauce on it. So that's what I'm thinking about eating for my dinner tonight, and I don't have to cook. I'll wait and cook something tomorrow and do a video on it. Yeah, they like being outside. They like hanging around, bathing in the sun, getting on the car, getting on top of the grill, on top of the tables out there, and hanging out and sleeping. Since they started all this construction all everywhere around me, they pretty much stay in the yard. They pretty much stay home. Oh, it's really good, Virgo boy. That pork roast that I put in the crock pot. There's several different ways you can do it in the crock pot, but I love it with those ingredients in it. It's really good. And that sauce that you make with it, that you put over the top after you slice it, that is so good. Yeah, it sounds like that thunder's coming closer. Anthony says, I can't cook anything to save my life. Oh, you could, but it takes practice. It takes learning how. First of all, you got to have a good recipe. Yeah, it's only not quite 6 o'clock. It's already getting pretty dark outside. And it's not usually dark this time. I mean, it doesn't get this dark till almost 9 o'clock usually. I hope it doesn't either, Joshua. 9 times out of 10, I either burn water or I burn the skillet. Oh, no. So I guess you eat a lot of takeout or a lot of restaurant food, huh? or a lot of order in stuff. I mean, I burned a few things in my time, I'll tell you. I have no idea, Joshua. I don't know why they call chargers of power stick. What do some people call USB wall chargers of a power stick? I have no idea. Your neighbor doesn't like it when you ask his wife to cook you something. You making him jealous, Anthony. He'll end up telling you to get your own wife to cook for you. Or get you another wife to cook for you. I don't know why he would be jealous. I mean, she's a beautiful woman, but not for me. Yeah, but he don't know that. You're embracing the single life. It must be cooling off a little bit out there too, because my AC cut off finally. He told you the other day to stop asking your wife to cook things for you. She's a pretty good cook. Well, she's a damn good cook. Yeah. He feels threatened. He doesn't want his wife cooking for you because he's jealous. I have to plug my phone in, Joshua. I don't have a wireless charger. I guess I'm embracing my single life too, because I've been single for a long time. I cannot imagine being married again at this point. I really can't. Edith just woke up for a nap. Well, you were in here earlier and then you took a nap and come back. So welcome back, Edith. You didn't know what to say. You were starving. I don't ever want to be married again. I've been married twice. That's enough. Yeah, I was married twice too. I don't know about getting married again. It would take some kind of special person for me to get married the third time. I feel like I'm giving up my freedom. What freedom I have, I don't do anything. Could never remarry, Edith says. Well, if that some special person came along, you might rethink it. But our age, they're kind of far and in between. There's not many left out there. They're all taken or dead. Or too old to care. Edith, you and me and Linda can start a thing that says no third marriages. Yeah, it would take an awfully special person for me to get married again. Tamara said, it's so nice to be single and free, married over 30 years, never again. Edith says, oh, well, sign me up. We can start the no third marriage club. They say, what is it? That the third is a charm. I don't know about that. And we got Clemency. Hello, welcome to chat. We're just about ready to get off here. We've been on for 3 hours already. It just clicked over 3 hours, y'all. Why, I'm like you, Linda. It could have to take a special kind of woman for me to even consider it. Yeah, that's me. I've been single for too long. I enjoy being my own boss. Except for paying bills, you know. They never stop. It don't matter if you're married or single or what. They're going to keep coming. Edith said she'd be open for going on a date, but couldn't remarry. I have no idea, Joshua. I don't know all that technical stuff. Teresa Minnick said, I'm married. Can I join? Sure. Everybody's welcome. I didn't like my water bill. I'm afraid to even ask what your water bill was. I know mine's running a couple of dollars more because of my leaky faucet that I got to get fixed. The sink's fixed, but he didn't know how to fix the faucet, so. Because he wasn't a plumber, but they did fix the leaky drain in the sink for me. My water bottle was $1,300 this month. What? I thought you meant the water to your house. Your water bottle. I don't understand. Your water bottle. I know, Angel. These 3 hours went by in a heartbeat, didn't they? You buy bottled water? Is that what you're saying? You have those bottles, the bottle in your house that you get water in? I don't understand that. Or your water bill was $1,300 this month. Oh, you bought your kids a pool, and apparently they have emptied it and refilled it about twice. Why would they empty it and refill it? If it's that big a pool, you're supposed to keep it full and just put chemicals in it. I couldn't, They'd have to take me to jail. I couldn't pay a $1,300 water bill. Janine says, I don't get charged for water. Water in this town is not drinkable. Oh my God, there's Cindy Sandu. How long has it been since Cindy's been in chat? I know, it's been forever since you've been here, Cindy. How's things been going for you? Apparently the kids found leaves in the pool, so they drained it and refilled it. You're supposed to go out and fish them out with a net, not drain the pool. How big is your pool? Oh my God. I mean, I had a float ring pool that was about 3 foot deep, and I loved getting in it, and I had it under my trees, but I had a cover for it. I kept those little tablets in the little floaty thing, and that's all the chemicals it needed. And then I had a net that you put in there to get any leaves out that fall in it. You just fish them out with that net. You don't drain your pool. You need to get them a net to fish those leaves out. Tell them not to drain that pool next time. Your town water's not drinkable either. We buy bottled water, 50 gallons a month. Oh my God, 400-gallon pool, and told the babysitter to go out there and clean it from now on. Right, there you go, Anthony. Take a dip net and go out there and dip those leaves out with the net. That's what you're supposed to do. You don't drain the pool. If it holds that much water, it's got filters in it too that cleans out stuff. Whew, $1,300 a month. Wow. Oh, I can imagine you almost had heart failure when you saw your water bill. If I'd have opened my water bill and it had $1,300 on it, I probably would pass out. Oh, okay, Cindy. Trying to catch up on videos. I can imagine, Anthony, that would, whew, $1,300. I'd be calling the water company. I said, there's got to be a mistake here. I didn't use that much water. I know that some of those park rides use a heck of a lot of water. But they recycle a lot of that water. It's like water in a pool. They keep chemicals in it. They don't empty it and fill it up every day. I can imagine, Anthony. Oh my God, $1,300. Woo! How old are your kids again, Anthony? Now my electric bill is normal, but yeah, you got a $1,300 water bill. And there's Natalie. Hello, Natalie. Welcome. Your son graduated and his knee is better now. Well, good. Because I remember, you said he hurt his knee. How many blind people have I met? 2. I had a friend here that lived in Granbury that she was blind. And then I met a girl at Six Flags one time that was blind. And she communicated with me, or she was, no, she wasn't blind. This one couldn't talk. And she used sign language to ask me to watch some of their stuff while they went on this one ride that they couldn't take their stuff with them. I'm sorry, she was deaf. She couldn't hear or speak, but not blind. Now, my great-grandmother on my dad's side, we called her Grandmammy. I remember when I was little, she was blind. But she was blind because of cataracts. But, yeah, I knew her, and then I knew the one friend I had here in Granbury that was blind. And she'd tell me stories of her doing stuff in the, when she can't see. That would have been terrifying for me. I mean, she would cook. She'd be home by herself, and she'd be cooking on the stove. And she caught her dish towel on fire one time. Oh, my God. Cindy said her kids are now adults. Woot, woot. Anthony's got a 15-year-old boy and a 12-year-old daughter. Okay, so yeah, I could see where they would probably think to drain the pool. To clean leaves out of it instead of just dipping them out. Yeah, when you got a pool that big, you don't drain it to clean it. You dip out the debris that's falling in the water, and then you let the filters do their thing, and you let the chemicals do their thing. We've not done trivia in a couple of weeks, but we may start back. I don't know. We had so many trolls coming in that it was getting so bad that I was switching my time schedule around a little bit. And in doing all that, we kind of got away from doing trivia, but we may start back. You love them to death, but they drive you crazy. My tablet does read the chants. Well, this was so many years ago. I was just a little tiny girl when I remember my grandmammy. But she had went blind and she couldn't see you. And I remember one time when we went to see her, she told me to come up close to her so she could touch me. Because since she didn't see, physically see, she would see by feeling, you know, by touch and stuff. Oh, your tablet reads the chat in the comments. Okay. Your electric bill is only $300 a month. Well, mine might hit $300 a month in the hottest month of the summer. But usually it only hits at one time and then it's lower. I couldn't handle a $300 bill every single month. Yours is only like less than $100. Well, it depends on where you live. I think mine was $82, the last one I got that I paid. My electric is $462. Well, you know, I don't have that much electricity running. My water heater's gas, my stove is gas. My furnace is gas, but I got the AC that runs on electric, of course. I guess the AC pulls more electricity than anything. Unless I run an electric heater, which my fireplace is electric. So I do run that some in the winter months as a backup heat. Anthony says, Cindy, I live in a state that is for rich people. I'm in over my head. Janine has an all-electric apartment. Oh my goodness. My electric bill has never hit $400. Alaska is expensive, but luckily my electric isn't. Yeah, see, I cook with gas. My water is heated by gas. Only my lights, my AC, stuff like that's run by electricity. So my electric bill doesn't usually get too high, except for the summer. And when I have the backup heat on. Oh no, your son tricked you on a gaming system. He made me look like a fool. How did he do that? Yep, my sunshine left. I got rolling thunder over my head. It's gotten dark outside like it wants to just pour down rain any minute, and I wish sometimes it would. We need some more rain. Then I would not have to water plants tomorrow. Well, I don't run my air conditioning extremely cold because I don't want it cold in the house. I run it down to where it's comfortable for me. Now, if I really started cleaning and vacuuming and doing all that kind of stuff, I'd probably get hot. But I've got it set on a temperature that's comfortable for me just to sit here. And that's where I leave it. I think the days of free water and free air is gone, Angel. I mean, they even started charging you for air to put in your tires. And, you know, they never used to do that. Okay, Janine, I'll be on the lookout. Linda, my love, made your famous fried taters, tuna salad for dinner. Rose have breaded chicken cutlets. That sounds good. He told you to go in the store and ask for XC5 and they don't exist. Yeah, but that didn't trick you into buying him a game. I probably would have got aggravated with him. I wouldn't bought him anything. Told me to go in the store and ask for a game that does not exist. Keep getting this tickle in my throat. Her name was Patty Joshua. He got a PlayStation 5 because I was ready to get out of there. I was so embarrassed. I have never been that embarrassed in my life. An XC5. I wouldn't have known what that was. I wouldn't have known if it existed or not. I don't even know what a PlayStation 5 is. I know that's the games, but well, unfortunately, Patty died a few years ago. She had some kind of a bone disorder to where her bones would just break so easy. She said sometimes she could just stand up to go walk somewhere and she'd break a leg. That's how bad her bones were. I don't remember what they called it, but whatever that was finally took her life. I hear it raining, y'all. It's starting to rain. I don't know how much we'll get. Yeah, I might make some iced tea or make some hot tea to drink with my pulled pork sandwich I'm going to eat as soon as I end my live. But I keep feeling like I got a feather tickling my throat. And I think part of it is not allergies. Part of it is my neck injury. Because sometimes when I talk, or even if I don't talk, I get nerves pinched in my neck. And when they're released, they kind of flutter. And it causes me to cough. That sounds kind of crazy, but it's happened ever since I've had my surgery. And that was years ago. I didn't, but I figured it out when the lady just looked at me like I was crazy and she was trying to teach me to play something called GTA. I don't know what GTA is. Good for you, Anthony. Order it online, so if it doesn't come up in the search bar, you know it don't exist, right? After this live stream, Joshua, I'm going to check out Night of the Navigator, and I'm going to sit here and eat my pulled pork sandwich, maybe with a cup of hot tea. That's what I intend to do. Because y'all got me interested in that movie. Oh. Sounds like it's starting to rain pretty good out there now. I don't know if y'all can hear the rain hitting the house or not. Can y'all hear that rain? Anthony said, I'm hungry again. I wish I had pulled pork now. Well, I bought some buns, Hawaiian buns, you know, the big ones, after I fixed that pork roast in the crock pot, just so I could fix pulled pork sandwiches with. And I've ate it all but this one last one. You hear it, Ann? Well, I've got a metal roof, so usually when it rains like this, you can hear it. It's coming down pretty good now. So maybe I'm not going to have to water anything tomorrow, but maybe one or two. Well, that's okay, Tamara. Well, watch my video that I made my crock pot pulled pork in, Anthony, and buy you a pork loin, put it in a crock pot, and add the ingredients that I put in mine and just let it cook itself. You don't do anything else. You can let it cook for 3 or 4 hours, or you can set it on low and cook it for 8 hours. And then all you do is take it out and eat it. Thicken your sauce a little bit with some cornstarch or flour, and you got your meal right there. You got pork loin and you got sauce to go on it. And then if you want a pulled pork sandwich, just pull some of it apart and make you a sandwich and put barbecue sauce on it. You know, you're going to try it. It's pretty good. I have several different recipes for pulled pork, or for pork in the crock pot. So, you know, I've got 2 more that I put in the freezer, so I'll use different recipes on the other 2 whenever I decide to cook them. But crock pot cooking is easy. All you do is put all your stuff in the crock pot like they say, put the lid on it, turn it on, and let it do its thing. Take it out later and eat it. Yeah, you can put any type of meat in the crock pot. You can cook pork chops, chicken, beef. You can make a killer beef stew in the crock pot. Just put it all in, put the lid on it, and cook it. Let it go. Forget about it. Set a timer for 3 or 4 hours or whenever it's supposed to be done. You need a roommate that can cook. And they got the Instapots now that are basically pressure cookers that you can cook stuff a lot faster. Unless you want to, start something in the morning and not want to eat it till that night. Yeah, I can imagine you can watch the Disney fireworks from anywhere just about close by. You might not be able to hear everything, but you'd see the fireworks. Yeah, we got a lot of new people in our chat. We got a lot of new subscribers, Cindy, since you've been here. Anthony's been keeping us entertained with his ghost. He made him move out of one house, and he's in a place now where he hasn't seen his ghost, so that's good. But I think he sent him to my phone because my phone is getting haunted here. The last couple of lives I've had, we had disco lights flashing. Yeah, they got plenty of recipes on YouTube. I've got plenty of recipes because I cook all the time. Not every single one of them's going to be in the crock pot, but... You haven't had any more experiences with your ghost? If you do, you're going to move again? Yeah, crock pots are good, for just one pot cooking, one pot meals. Just dump it all in the crock pot like they tell you. Turn it on and let it go. Man, it's coming down good out there, and the sun's come back out while it's raining. And they always say if the sun comes out while it's raining, it's going to rain the next day. And who knows, it might rain again tomorrow because they've already said it was going to start raining Tuesday and rain for 3 days. So it's liable to rain again tomorrow and rain for 5 days because this will be 1, tomorrow will be 2, and then we've got 3 more days of rain. That's 5. Yeah, that's a big house. Have you heard the song Rainbow Connect? No, I've not heard that, Joshua. Well, y'all, we've been on here for 3 hours and a half. We got to go. We got to end this live. I'm hungry. I got to fix my pulled pork sandwich and eat. And I got to look up this movie, Knights of the Flight of the Navigator. Automated. I don't know what automated. What's automated? Well, it was nice having you back in chat, Cindy. It's been forever. I've been wondering about you. Yeah, I will if I can find it. If I can speak enough to get off the live. But like always, thank you so much for hanging out with me for these few hours. 3 hours, over 3 hours. I appreciate it much. Love each and every one of you. Y'all have a blessed night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And I'll see you on the next one. Love y'all. Bye now.